Hey guys, I'm Andrew Davidson and welcome back to another As Per My Ability video. And even more important, welcome to a brand new year. Happy belated new year. I know this video is going to be posted way after the first of the new year. I decided to put As Per My Ability on hold and kind of shut it down for a few weeks for just basically a holiday. I had some things come up in my personal life, and life is all about shifting priorities, and so some of my priorities got shifted due to some things that were going on, and As Per My Ability had to be shut down. What does that really mean? It means that I have not been doing anything with the brand. I've not been doing any content. There's nothing on the back burner. I don't have a blog that I'm ready to put out or anything like that. I literally just walked away from the brand for a couple of weeks because that's just how life is. But having said that, I'm back in front of the camera. I am back with you. I hope you guys are all well. I hope your Christmas and your holiday season and your New Year's was excellent. Mine was really excellent, all despite the one thing that really shifted my priorities. So before I get into what this video is going to actually be about, I'd like to take about 30 seconds to be prudent and talk about the future, 2022, and where As Per My Ability is going to go, or what kind of content you can look forward to during this year. So last year I decided to mess around a little bit with interviewing people. Last year I interviewed Patrick from the Level Up Board Game Podcast. Full disclosure, I do submit content to them, so full disclosure there, but I did interview Patrick and we talked about a lot of things game related. I also talked with another Andrew from Board Game Crawler, which is a podcast, and I interviewed him, talked about their origin story, what their podcast is all about, who's on the podcast, who's not on the podcast. I highly recommend that you check out those two podcasts and see if it's something that you like, especially the Level Up Board Game Podcast. Wink. So moving forward in 2022, I want to do, or at least offer, more videos like that. I already have some interviews that I'm working on lining up. I know that there will be some new faces joining me on the screen on some Zoom calls. For those of you that know Brad, Brad will be back at some point, and we're going to be doing some reflections on games like we have done in the past. So there's going to be more of that, but there will also be videos just like this one. As Per My Ability is just trying to basically have a whole smorgasbord, if that's a real word. That's a real word, right? Of content, so that I don't really feel like I'm pigeonholed into just doing game recommendations, good games, here's some bad games. If you like this game, play this game. But I want to mix it up and do interviews and all the stuff that I've already mentioned. That was way more than 30 seconds. I apologize. I'm really excited for 2022 in regards to the content that I'm going to put together with other people, and you might even see some people submitting content on their own, either on the YouTube channel or the blog. Okay, so enough rambling. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the longest game that I have ever played in my now 12 years of being considered a board gamer. This game took me 24 days to complete. 24 days. It is the longest game I've ever played. If that sounds interesting, I'm going to talk all about it. Stick with me and we'll talk about it after the sweet intro. Welcome back, everybody. As I said at the top, I'm going to be talking about the longest game that I've ever played in my entire life. Now, there's two things that I need to express or delineate before I get into my thoughts. The game that I'm talking about today is Exit the Game Advent Calendar. So the two things that I need to talk about is, one, what's an exit game, for those of you that don't know, and two, I don't even know what an Advent Calendar is. What is that? So the first one is Exit Games, or Exit the Game. Exit the Game is a award-winning, I believe it won the Game of the Year, the Spiel des Jahres, quite a few years ago. They are escape room games. They're puzzle games. They are games that you pick up for $14, $15. You bring them home, you play them with your friends. They're quite intuitive, and you solve puzzles. And when you're done, you're done. You have to just throw the game away because they're so intuitive that you actually have to get a lot of, you have to modify a lot of things. You look inside the box, look outside the box, cut something out of the box to be held up to the light, or things like that. And that's why it won the Spiel des Jahres. That whole series does. So number two, an advent calendar are those calendars you may have had when you were a kid in December, where you would open up like a box on a particular day. So December 1st, you would tear open December 1st. And whatever the theme of the advent calendar was, there would be something there. Like, for example, chocolates. I had candy ones. I also had like a Micro Machines. Do they even make Micro Machines anymore? I don't even think so. But I would get like a little Micro Machine every day. So then December 2nd, you would tear open the next one and there would be a chocolate in there or a Micro Machine. Well, today I'm going to be talking, as I said, about Exit the Game Advent Calendar. So every time you open up a day, every day you get like a little puzzle and you have to solve the puzzle, and it relates to the narrative, which I'll get in later. And it takes about 10 minutes. The puzzles are, pretty simplistic, but they are absolutely ingenious. There is a narrative element to the game. So when you go to a new room, it gives you a notebook of narrative stuff that you read, and then you'll open up the box. This is a really hard video for me to make, and I'll tell you why. I can't show you the product. I can't. Without spoiling anything, I can't grab my copy and hold it up for you and show you what it looks like. I can put in some pictures and stuff, but my product, like my copy, would be a huge spoiler. I guess me saying that is a spoiler in itself. So yeah, now that the cat's out of the bag, by the time you are finished, you will not have any semblance of a box. Really. It's not too much of a spoiler, but let me just say that this was the most fun I've had doing puzzles, and I'm not a puzzle guy. For those of you that know me, I'm all about theme and narrative, not necessarily figuring out codes and puzzles and things like that, thinking outside of the box, literally and figuratively. However, this was kind of made for families and kids. So that's great. My little kid, my 6-year-old brain actually was able to figure out a lot of these puzzles without having to get any clues or hints. And yes, the game does come with, if you've ever played Exit the Game, they usually have clue cards. In here, it's a book. They give you a clue book that you can look up. So you get one clue, a second clue, and then if you just absolutely don't get it, then it gives you the third clue, which is basically the solution of how to do it. I used the first clue quite a few times, just to get me started, because sometimes when you open up a box, it gives you pieces and cards and stuff, and you're just like, I'm not sure where to get started. So the first clue basically just helps you get started. I use that quite a bit, which is kind of a free clue, but I don't think there was only 2 out of 24 puzzles that I actually had to go to a second clue or to just get the solution. So 24 puzzles out of 24 puzzles, 20 of them I was able to get either by myself or with the help of a friend. And one thing that I really liked about the game, other than the fact that the puzzles were semi-easy, at least easy enough for this clunker of a brain to figure out some of them on my own. I felt like a little kid. I was so proud. But also the fact that the game continues. The people behind Exit the Game, they continue to come up with innovative ways to do escape room games or puzzle games. I tell you what, I can't even fathom how they came up with some of the solutions in this game. They're so intuitive, and for spoiler reasons, I can't even really get in to tell you how cool and how awesome it was to find where the clues were in the box or on the box, or how things were put together. It does do a good job of mixing some of the more, let's call them tricky puzzles with some basic straightforward ones. This isn't much of a spoiler because I won't say the date or the puzzle or anything, but there are some where you have to align things, and then based on your perspective, it spells a word if you stand right here, just stuff like that. That's like, wow, that's really cool. This iteration of Exit the Game, the Advent Calendar, is the most intuitive Exit the Game that I have played. And I've played quite a few of them, not all of them, but I've played quite a few of them. It is incredibly intuitive, incredibly fun. I actually overpaid for my copy because I had to order it from across the pond, but I am glad I did. Money well spent. I had a blast. Okay, so you already have my thoughts. Giving you my thoughts. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Really enjoyed the experience of Exit the Game Advent Calendar. But one thing I want to talk about, which some of you might be thinking, is, well, Advent calendars are really relegated to December, to the month of December, leading up to Christmas. So you might be thinking, oh, great. Hey, Andrew, great job putting out a video in January on a product that is used in December. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room then. I honestly think while this game does have a very, very small Christmas element to it, so the basic premise of the narrative aspect of the game is that you are at a ski resort celebrating with some friends. You're out skiing and there's an avalanche and you're trying to get away from the avalanche, and in doing so, the ground gives way and you fall and you find yourself in a cave. And you're stuck in a cave going from room to room in the cave. Not super Christmas. I mean, it's not like you're kidnapped by Santa Claus. It's not like you have to sing Christmas carols to figure out how to put together some of the puzzles. So, having said that, I wouldn't necessarily say that you would have to wait until December to go through this game. I'd say pick any month and just have fun with it. There's a lot of snow, there's a lot of ice. I believe there is a Christmas tree that's portrayed in one of the parts, but the narrative for me didn't seem like this is jam-packed with Christmas stuff. You really just need to play this in December, or else you're just not going to have fun. Like, the theme's just not there because it's all Christmas this and Christmas that. It's actually not. And with the puzzles being so intuitive and so amazing how you find or where you find the answers, I think that if you really want and you can find a copy of this, just find any month. All you need is a month with 24 days in it. And the last time I checked, every single month has 24 days. So, highly recommend this game. Don't really have to do it during Christmas if you're someone that doesn't want to wait. Obviously, that would be the best because Advent calendars are fun during the month of December. But if you're someone that wants to review the game or just wants to get something fun for your family to do, the puzzles are fun. They're pretty simple for the most part. And it's not really something that is this is a Christmas game. So that's going to be it from me. Those are all my thoughts. Basically, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. This is a game that if you can get a hold of, Exit the Game Advent Calendar. I apologize, I can't show you my product. I don't have much of it left, and it would be a huge spoiler if I did. So you're just going to have to take my word for it that this game is awesome. If you enjoy this, if you enjoy board games, if this is your first video, welcome to the channel. Welcome to a new year. If you want to consider helping As Per My Ability out, you can always click, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell so that you get notifications when we post new videos. We typically post new content on Tuesdays. This is where I'm going to leave us. So once again, my name is Andrew Davidson with As Per My Ability, and I will see each and every one of you at the next video. Happy New Year, everyone. It's good to be back.